Welcome everyone, one and all, to my reaction to Season 1, Episode 6, the finale of Heated Rivalry, The Cottage. Now, safe to say, I am a mix of emotions right now. You know, there is excitement within me, because obviously I've heard that episode 5 and 6 are a lot of people's favourites. So getting into this one, it's like, oh my god, what's it going to be? But also, this is the last episode, which is extremely sad. You know, it's sad when you come across a show like this, where not only is it such a good romance, you know, not only is it a great story to, like, grip you in that regard, but also it's just such a good show, you know, like the writing, the acting, everything has been so stellar that this is one of those shows that you finish it and you like start to realize when you're looking at a lot of modern TV that it's like, things are a bit shit nowadays, aren't they? So, not going to be the best come down after this, but I'm just so excited to be getting into it. My god, I've heard some great things. I haven't heard any specifics, but as I said, I've heard that 5 and 6 are a lot of people's favorites, specifically 6, obviously with what we've heard of the cottage itself and like the idea of them spending potentially weeks together. That's going to be cute as fuck. So yeah. Safe to say I'm very excited to get into it and see where the story goes. So with that said then, for the last time for now, let's jump back in to the world of Heated Rivalry.
A few weeks ago, I achieved my lifelong dream, winning the cup.
Hell yeah. Why is Kip not allowed to be there? Because I think that was Kip's hair in the right, wasn't it?
It's been an interesting month. In case you missed it somehow, I came out as gay in a ridiculously public way.
Saying the word. For a man who was in the closet for a while, I'm proud of you.
When I was a teenager, I realized that I may be that thing that hockey players like to throw around as an insult.
Nice. We're going into it.
And the need to be honest about who I am. Fear is a powerful thing.
It is.
But then I found the one thing that is more powerful.
Love.
You have made me better in every conceivable way.
Imagine being his friends, like...
I love you.
Oh, the joy, the pride, the everything you would be feeling right now. Is he picking him up? Oh my god, picking him up in the car? Stop. Oh, look at the panic.
No, it's British. Practical. Get in the snow.
All right, Shane. We know you've read up on the car. Oh, bless him. So.
I would like to relax with you.
Shane, stop. My little heart can only take so much, and we've just started.
Me too, but also like terrified, yes.
No.
Like a meditation. What? Does that sound fake?
To be fair.
It would if it was anyone but you.
Yo, stop the way he said that. No.
I didn't buy this. I had it built.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I know.
I can give you a tour.
He watched the documentary, Shane. Don't worry about it. Bloody hell. We getting right to things? Okay.
You haven't been with anyone lately?
No.
Not since.
No, not since. So can we?
Really?
He's like, yeah, not since. Hurry the fuck up.
For the next 2 weeks, let's just be honest with each other about what we actually think. And
Hell yeah.
maybe how we really feel.
Nice, Shane.
I will try.
Really?
Yes.
I
will
love
do
that.
Anything if it will make you touch my declaring one.
I'm sorry, sir. We'd really like to accommodate you, but...
Oh, God.
Oh, I think I know how this stuff likes to be treated after years.
It is crazy to think about the fact that it's been years. It's always going to blow me away. My brain can't understand.
The recipe was for 8, so...
Okay, you cut it in half. What, you can't do math?
Leave me alone.
He's just doing it the way it said to do it.
You know David, yes? And?
And what?
Tell me about them.
Oh, I thought he was saying let's go see them or something. I was like, what?
Crazy.
Fuck you. He played hockey for McGill.
Whoa, McGill. What the fuck is McGill? Is McGill a town? Would they not be good about it?
I don't know. I mean, no, they'd be fine. I'm sure they would be. But
Doesn't matter. It's still terrifying.
sometimes I think I would have told them already.
If it wasn't for what?
Oh, this is my fault.
Oh.
No. I mean, yeah, kind of.
Oh, the secrecy aspect?
Just doesn't really matter. You done?
Interesting. To touch on that for 1 second, just from like a personal note and everything, I also came from a background where I always knew that my parents wouldn't have an issue with me per se when it came to sexuality and everything, but I still didn't come out till I was like 21, I think, like late in the grand scheme of things. And It's hard because people think that if you're from like a supportive family and everything, it would be so easy. But the fear, the terror that the outside world puts in you of being gay, no matter what, it's going to affect you no matter what. You know, it doesn't really matter about your background. And I feel like even if you come from a family who will like love and support you and everything, there are so many like, how do I word this? Can you use microaggressions when it comes, like the term microaggressions when it comes to sexuality as well? Because I've only ever heard that term used when it comes to race, but I don't know if there's like a different term or what, but you know what I mean. These like little things that you notice in a day-to-day of the way that people speak about gay people, the way that people react towards gay people, you know, like there have been people in my life before where I've noticed that when two gay men kissed on the screen, for example, they turned away like, ugh, and they're not homophobic, like if you actually speak to them and everything, but they still have that reaction. And so it's those little things in your day-to-day and the things that you pick up throughout your life that you really latch onto in your mind when it comes to the fear of coming out and everything. So I relate to Shane a lot on that. It's one of those really unfortunate things of life, you know? But I do think that he was being honest with the Ilya element, just because adding in the fact that it was someone that they hate, if you know what I mean, just like opposing team, stuff like that, I think that that would have complicated things even more. But yeah, bless him. It could also have been something that he was hiding behind, you know, convincing himself that was why, but...
Nice, right?
So we just sit here and look at it.
Yes.
Nah, but real.
I'm not sure she's looking for a peak performance.
Oh, disaster is like hell.
I'm not going into details.
What the fuck was that? A what?
A loon. It's a bird.
Sounds like a fucking wolf.
It's a bird.
To be fair, it
trust
did sound
me.
like a fucking wolf. This is so cute.
I'm sorry about your family. Even if they suck, you must miss them.
My mother didn't suck.
Oh, we're going there. Oh,
How did she die?
By accident.
I'm sorry.
She accidentally swallowed the whole bottle of pills.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
How old were you?
12.
Please don't tell me you found her.
I found her. I don't want you to think she was weak.
My boy.
I don't.
She was so funny and beautiful.
Stop. Okay. Interesting then. So obviously she took her own life. I don't know if it was in relation to the father, you know, the way Ilya was describing it. I mean, I don't expect a 12-year-old to be able to have like a complex understanding of why his mum killed herself, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's actually terrible. Absolutely terrible. He was older than I thought he would be as well. I was like, I know this is bad to say, I was kind of hoping that he would have been younger. I mean, it's an experience that I've never had in my life, so I can only interpret. I suppose there's like worse bits to both, because obviously if you're younger, you don't remember them as well, and maybe that is a pain that you carry with you. But also if you're older, you understand things a little too well. You know, that it's like a more complex pain, shall we say. Again, it's not an experience I've had, so I'm not sure, but yeah, that's absolutely horrible. I mean, finding her is atrocious. I'm so sorry, especially when it seems as though she was the one that he considered to be kind of like the light in his life compared to the rest of his family. So that is absolutely horrendous, and I'm so sorry to him. One thing I did want to say, I don't know if it was like an acting choice intentionally, or if it was like accent, the way he was lying or something, but is it just me? I was getting the feeling of the way he was speaking about it felt a little childlike, you know, the way in which he was talking about his mother and everything felt childlike. And so I'm wondering if that was like a subconscious thing within Ilya, like looking at this as if it's real life and everything, a subconscious thing within Ilya of kind of like reverting back to that version of himself, you know, while speaking about it. I don't know if that's just me like looking into things a little bit too deeply though, but yeah, that was beautifully tragic. Finding out, you know, it was beautiful. Well, it was tragic in the sense of obviously all the things that we've talked about, but it was beautiful in the sense that that's, I would assume, probably the first time he's ever really gone into it. I would assume Svetlana knows, just because they've been friends for so many years. I would assume that it came up at some point, maybe like if drugs or alcohol were involved, because that's sometimes a way that people can find themselves to be a little bit more honest, even though that's not a good way of doing it. But yeah, I would be surprised if it's never come up, but equally, it wouldn't be like a shock to my world if he revealed that was the first time he's ever spoken about it. You know, the first time he's ever like mentioned it to anyone other than family, including family, but you know what I mean, in terms of people knowing exactly what happened. So yeah, damn, we're getting into some very deep shit this episode, you know. It is interesting when we do look at the going into things that are like really hard for them to get into, because previously, like start of the show and everything, it was definitely more on Ilya that Ilya was struggling to open up. But I would say the past couple of episodes, maybe the past few if we include episode 4, but obviously I do not have a good timeline in my mind of exactly what happened in each, but we've definitely been seeing Ilya sort of like be the one who's opening up, not necessarily a lot more easily, but he's being a lot more open than Shane is. So it's cool that the tables have flipped. You know what I mean?
Good morning.
Good morning. I like you.
Mm-hmm. There's a better word than that, but okay.
Well, I'm gonna be Boston.
Good choice.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I am you.
The way he gets so aggressive when it comes to like being competitive.
But how's Amber, right? How's she?
Don't do it,
I think
Ilya.
she's cute.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That was a tough time.
You cheeky bastard.
I won't touch you, but if you get hard...
I won't get hard.
Okay, so no problem then.
Ilya.
Shane.
I love how Shane is trying to be like stern, and it's just not working because there is a grin on his face right now.
Yeah, he's great.
In this regard, men are just so easy. You know what I mean? Like,
Fuck. No, sorry. Just,
I almost spat my tea out.
it's just Amazon. But I'll call you next week. And yeah. So, totally.
Not surprised you're out of breath, Ilya. Did you even fucking take a breath? That was crazy. You were fucking feral.
I was thinking maybe Canadian team.
So that you could be closer to him?
Not Montreal, huh?
No, I mean I know.
But I would love to not have a Russian passport.
I was gonna say.
I could marry Svetlana. She's American, would be easy citizenship.
True. I didn't know that she was American. Does she have a parent?
We were friends, we would be fine.
Okay, but
But what?
Oh, bless him.
you could find someone you'd want to marry for real.
Oh, we're going there.
And still get the passport.
We're going there.
Listen,
Let him get to it.
these women, they're so sexy and fun.
Stop teasing him.
But I am always thinking about this slow fucking hockey player with beautiful freckles.
What a way to put it.
I am always wishing that these women were him. It's a terrible problem, huh?
Shane hearing that is just like a fact from Ilya's mouth must like, oh my god.
Don't marry Svetlana. Just don't. I know it wouldn't be for love or whatever. Just don't. We can figure something else out, okay?
Shane, stop. Put their feet touching that whole time. A little bit of reassurance. Oh, that was... Aww. It's like encapsulating this show. That was heartbreaking and lovely at the same time.
Super close by. Second, Ottawa needs a star center, and they're nowhere near their cap, so they could definitely afford you. And maybe we could start to change the narrative a bit.
I love that since that conversation, you could tell Shane has been like rallying every team up in his mind.
We're only 2 hours apart, and we start a charity. Something that, we both care about.
When I approached you,
Fine, sure.
God, leave the competitiveness at the door for a second.
And maybe one day when we both retire, we could be together for real.
you really think that far ahead, Hollander?
Yeah, he does.
I do. About this.
I'm sure that's lovely and scary at the same time for Ilya. I love them, bro.
I love you.
Holy shit.
I mean,
I love you too.
I don't even know what to say.
God, I love you so much.
Oh, I love you guys too.
Does it fucking kill you too?
Oh, every day.
what and what?
Oh, you bastard. For two people who like are very scared and have like no real experience with like being open and honest, especially when it comes to like feelings in that regard, it's so beautiful to see them get to this point. And I think that, I don't know, there's something so beautiful in Ilya kind of, even after all this time and everything that they've both seen within each other, they were still both like questioning as to whether the other one wanted to actually be with them, which makes sense. I mean, my god, all of the questioning over the years, of course you would be fucking confused. But I don't know, like, from an audience perspective, not having the, like, personal ties that those two have, it's so easy to tell that they love each other, you know, but when you're actually in it yourself, it must feel impossible to really figure it out, and for two people that are, like, so scared of it as well, it's so hard to, like, tell yourself that the other person loves you. You need to hear it. So Ilya hearing that Shane was like not just planning the like immediate future of like moving to Canada and everything, but like actually planning everything out and planning it out in a way where it's like getting Ilya citizenship, you know, like he cares. He's trying to figure out a way that this can work, you know, and he's thought of the entire plan, you know, the charity element and everything. And so to hear that must have like fucking, in a good way, broke something in Ilya, because then he just started crying, and the like, I don't know, the beauty of like crying and hearing that and breaking down and that causing you to then say I love you, like you finally feeling loved enough to say it. And that's not to say that Shane hasn't let him feel that before, but it's almost as if he really needed like a cold, just blank truth of that love, you know? Like, it's so hard to read signals if you're lost in your head and shit like that, and so to have someone, like, so blatantly reveal that they do love you... Stop. How do we have 20 minutes left? What the fuck are you gonna do to me? I love when music doesn't even need words to make you feel it. You know what I mean? The soundtrack of this show, point blank, has just been so fantastic.
What was your mother's name?
Are we thinking of naming the charity after her or something?
Irina.
Irina.
Why?
That's so sweet. I love that name.
We could start a hockey school, like a summer camp for kids, and give the money away to mental health organizations.
I was wondering if we go, oh...
And suicide prevention. It was just an idea.
She would have loved you. Like I love you.
Say it again in Russian, please.
Yeah. Люблю.
That was very lovely. Ask him to say it in Russian as well, because that, like, means more to Ilya, you know? That's really lovely.
Oh, so we have a little time.
Maybe, if you have in mind.
Nothing that'll take too long.
I was about to say, is that his dad? Bro. Oh my god. Bro. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What the fuck am I supposed to do? Well, you should go talk to him.
Yeah, what if he doesn't want to talk to me?
My boy.
What if...
I think it was just a bit of a shock.
For so many years, I fucking lied to them, and now my dad just walks in on me.
It's not the same, my boy.
This is my actual fucking nightmare, Ilya.
Okay, then maybe it's time to wake up, yes?
That's a nice way to put it. Damn. Damn, I never even thought about it. Oh my god.
Do you want me to come with you?
Or do you?
Of course.
Okay.
I love that Ilya isn't, like, shying away from this. I think, understandably, but I think it could be very easy in Ilya's situation to kind of, like, I don't know, fall into the fear yourself, you know, especially when it's something that you've been keeping a secret as well, but I hope this goes well. I am scared, though. People tend not to react very well when it's, like, a big shock.
Found out what, exactly?
I'm gay. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. And this is Ilya?
They know.
But you hate him.
No.
You.
I mean, I get that, but no, I actually, I love him.
Okay, we're using the word. Okay. Nice.
We both know you pretty well, Shane. I mean, what we did not suspect was that you were so friendly with Rosanov.
Yeah, God, I need to pause here just because this has just been so much. I need a moment. Oh my God. Oh, that was a lot. I'm very proud of Shane for just like coming out with all of it. I think it's best to be honest in these kind of situations. I did find it interesting that he mentioned about lying to parents and that being like a big shame within him, because I think a lot of people go through that, and it's hard because lying is just seen as such a negative, but like lying has to come with so much context as to the reasoning for the lying, you know, and in the majority of cases it doesn't make the lying okay, but in this kind of case I think it does, and I think that it's because it's not lying as I don't know, as an intentional act to deceive, you know. It's lying out of fear. It's lying from such a deep core place within you of it's such a complex grouping of emotions and such a complex thing that I don't know if I could do it justice describing it. It's just such a like pit within you that I don't like the idea of him calling it lying and having shame related to that. Like, my boy, no, it's nothing to be shameful about. You know, if anything, the world should be ashamed for making people feel that way, you know, it's not on you. But yeah, damn, okay, they're taking it well so far. This is a really good sign. It is funny that the sexuality was not like the biggest shock here. It wasn't like the thing that they were processing. It's that it's Ilya. It's kind of like the Ilya bomb kind of like covered over the sexuality bomb. So, yeah.
No, it was before then.
Wow. So when?
Right from the beginning.
Since our rookie season.
Since your rookie season.
No, it's not true. Since before that.
It's not helpful.
Not helpful.
Just
We're all adults at this table.
Just,
Pick up on it.
just.
Ilya.
Ilya's like, I don't have the vocabulary to explain it to you other than literally.
Do you let Dad win at cards?
I'd rather die.
Same here.
We can see where the competitiveness comes from then.
We just can't come out and, like, announce it.
I mean, you can, but it's a massive deal. It's a lot for the parents to process. Like, I'm not judging any kind of uncomfortability here. It just is what it is. It's like a million worries have just entered their mind at once, you know what I mean? You could also have, like, a bit of shame yourself as to why your son hasn't told you. Did you not make him feel comfortable? Like, there's so many things.
I need you to know that I did really try.
Shane.
I tried really hard, but I just can't help it.
I think that's gonna break her heart.
Look at me. I'm sorry that I made you feel like you couldn't tell me. I'm so proud of you. Please forgive me.
What a beautiful piece of media. What a beautiful piece of media.
We need a statement prepared in case anything leaks. Something
Tea.
classy and simple.
Mom.
And I'm going to quietly reach out to the premium brands.
The way this has happened in a matter of hours.
We would be closer and with the charity.
And you have no loyalty to Boston.
Jesus, Mom.
What? They drafted him. You would leave Boston for Shane?
I love this. The confusion, the pain's gone side a little bit, and it's now like, wait a minute. This is my son.
Okay, I'm just freaking out.
It's okay.
Hey, we're good here. Our family is here. Your boyfriend is here.
My boyfriend?
You've said you love each other. Let's be real. Come on now.
Please text.
Why? We'll just be there around 5.
Please text. Don't text. Pay attention to your phone.
They are adults, girly. Text. What a day, Shane. Oh. I hate you with a passion in my heart. How dare you? So yes, there we have one of the most beautiful pieces of media I have ever seen. And that's not an exaggeration. Genuinely, that is one of the most beautiful pieces of media I've ever seen, both in a finale episode and as a show as a whole. I think that this is such a special show, such a needed show, such a wonderful show to have exist. You know, I think that they've all done the journey of these characters such beautiful justice. I could praise them till the end of the world. You know, this has just been such a wonderful experience. I think this is that kind of show. I hope you know what I mean. This is that kind of show where I think you watch it and it makes you reevaluate your own life. You know, it makes you reevaluate things that the show maybe hasn't even touched on, you know, but it makes you kind of like look at two people who have been struggling for so long with so many things to get to this place of loveliness, you know, through both growth as a couple, but also as individuals. And it really makes you evaluate so many things in your life to think, do I need to do better for myself? You know, do I need to do things to make myself happier in life? You know, and I just think that this is always my favorite kind of media, the one that makes you sit back, look at your own life and think, well, fuck. You know, I deserve better than this, you know, and I really appreciate that. Getting into it then, God, I don't even know where to begin. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my notes. I'll go through anything that I want to touch on again or I haven't touched on. Then I'm probably going to end here, take a little break, then come back and do question time. For you guys, it'll probably all be in one video, but I'm going to take a little bit of break before question time because I think I need it all to settle a little bit in my head before getting into things. And I assume we have quite a few questions because it's the finale. We normally have a lot more for finales. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So with that said then, I'm just going to jump into whatever is first on my list. The first major thing that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about was Ilya saying I will try when they were speaking earlier about being honest and everything at the start of their trip. I think that was like the most perfect way to put it, because you don't want to give someone a false expectation and you don't want to lie to someone by saying, yeah, absolutely, because it feels inherently wrong, because you don't know if you'll be able to. But saying you're going to try, some people take try as like, oh, why just try? Why not just do? But to me, I prefer someone saying try, because it's implying that I'm going to put as much effort into it as I can. But to be honest with you, the first step of this, I don't know if I'm going to absolutely be able to. I don't know if it's going to be like immediate for me, because I have all of these walls that it takes a lot of effort to bring down, to be completely honest. And so bear with me, but I will try to do my best. And so I really appreciate that wording, you know. The next one I wrote down was about Ilya's mother's death, which we have already gone over, but I think that kind of just, I don't know. I think it echoed throughout the entire show, hearing that truth about his mother's death, the fact that he found her, the fact that he was 12. I think that there were so many elements to that we didn't understand previously, that a lot of it was kind of just interpreting things, you know, trying to make things out. You know, I'd kind of headcanoned in my head that she would have been the person in his life that he maybe connected with a lot more. She may have been like the one that he, it feels weird to say it about family, but I think it's safe to say loved him a lot more, you know, and thereby he loved her the most. And so to get that as like a concrete actual like fact that she was lovely, he loved her, he adored her, she was such a wonderful person for him, and unfortunately she lost her life to something that is just so sad, you know, like the idea of taking your own life. It's so sad, you know, like if people have different reactions to it. I think that it's a common thing to look at it. How do I word this? I think there are two ways to look at it that I think are extremely toxic to yourself and also to the conversation surrounding it. And the first one is that it is a weakness, which Ilya brought up. He was scared that Shane would have seen her as weak. He is like very protective of his mother because he just loved her so much that I think I understand where the fear comes from Ilya, because some people do see it that way, and that really saddens my heart, because the only level of weakness that I ever have in my mind in relation to the conversation is the weakness of society to not recognize a problem and to do more about it. You know, like we have all of these charities and everything set up to try and help people, but why do we need charities? Why is this not like a main goal of the human race, to try and fucking better all of our lives, you know, to try and make it so that we're all never going to get to a place of feeling though that is necessary, you know, like God. So many issues in my life, so many moments in my life. I personally have never gotten to the place of taking my own life, but if I try and think about like living and like everything that can come from living, the idea of getting to a place where you just feel so lost within yourself and you feel so I don't even know the correct words, because it's so complex and like such a strong feeling, shall we say, that feeling of feeling like you have to go through with that action. It just makes me so sad, you know, because the other side of things, the other toxic thing that people can think of it is that it's like selfish of another person and something. And both of those mentalities, I just don't understand. The only thing I feel when I hear that someone has taken their own life is just immense sadness, and then just an immense, like, I don't know, you just feel horrible for the person, because as I've said, I've never gotten to that place in my life. And so the thought of getting there, the thought of something getting me to that point that I then go through with that action, that's fucking heartbreaking, and it pisses me off when I hear people speak about it in those other ways, because I don't understand how you can see it that way. I don't understand how you can hear Ilya, for example, describing his mother as this absolutely beautiful person, to then describe that his dad was not helpful in the situation. We don't understand it fully, but could have been the cause that led her there. I don't fucking well know, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a multitude of things, but when you're hearing all these things and you hear that she passed away from that, it's like, how do you feel anything but just immense sadness? Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but it just, the conversation surrounding suicide in that regard really pissed me off, because I try and be understanding of people's perspectives, and I try and understand where people are coming from, but with that kind of take, it just plain as day pisses me off, because I don't understand how you can view other people that way. It's like such a pessimistic view of the world to look at something so inherently sad, and you just like are meant to have so much empathy for that person that did that. Why view it as selfish? Like, what? There's feeling bad for the people around them, and then there's seeing the person who did it as selfish. They're two extremely different things in my opinion. But yeah, looping back to the actual conversation with Ilya and everything, What more can I say? It's heartbreaking. It's horrible that he went through that, but the fact that he has actually found someone that he feels comfortable with is so beautiful. And I'm going to touch on one of my later, my last point that we're getting into this with when we are getting to these like latter points of the episode. And I would say the past couple of episodes, like Ilya is just such an interesting character, because Ilya's interaction with his sexuality doesn't come from a place of shame, and I really like that portrayal, because shame is an extremely common thing with sexuality. Like, oh my god, I think it's much rarer for someone to be of a sexuality other than heterosexual and to not have a level of shame within them because of the world around them, how they're treated, the things they hear throughout their life and everything. It's just such a common emotion to go through. But I also think it's really nice to see someone who hasn't got that, you know? Like, Ilya's fear surrounding sexuality and everything is more so like the Russian element, you know, and the like legal element that comes with that, the physical safety when it comes to stuff like that. He doesn't have fear when it comes to like people finding out because he likes men. And I think that that is like a really good partner for someone like Shane, because Shane's like shame and his like fear runs so deep within him, surrounding every aspect of his sexuality, that to have a partner who is like very grounded in his sexuality but can equally recognize the struggles that Shane is having and kind of like talk him through things, be that rock for him, you know, I think that that is just so bloody beautiful, and that is just like such a wonderful thing to look at, you know, because you can definitely chalk up a lot of Ilya's calmness at the latter part of this episode as Ilya just being so in love with Shane that he's not even thinking about anything but being there for him in that moment. But I do think that the comfortability with the sexuality is also at play there, because he's not scared of the parents' reaction towards him, you know what I mean? Because he's just thinking about Shane, because he's not ashamed of his sexuality. And I think that that's a very important TV show character to have, you know what I mean? But moving on from that then, next up, I think the majority of my notes after, it looks like the rest of my notes after this are to do with the parents, or at least like the sequence of events from when his dad found them. And the first one is that his dad left, and just talking about that for a second, the same with like absolutely everything that the parents were doing in this episode, you know, like even if we didn't get these moments at the end of them being very accepting, being very lovely, and it just being very normalized, you know, the little dynamic that the four of them were having by the end, even if we hadn't had that and we just like cut with his dad leaving, or we cut with his mum walking out, anything like that, I held no judgment in my heart towards them, and like I never will, because at the end of the day, we are very complex creatures. We are creatures who emotions can be very overwhelming, especially when they come at a surprise, especially when it is something that has not even entered your mind, you know. You're obviously gonna like need some time to process, you know. So his dad leaving, I don't think is in any way a bad thing. I think that it's just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? I think that it's so brave and so wonderful that Shane then followed him, you know. I think that was very special that he had the like courage to do that. I think it helped that Ilya was there, of course. I think that Shane would have done it on his own, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Shane would have done that because he wanted to be honest this whole time. It's just, it's very hard. The problem is when you do have a family that is quite accepting and everything, the problem isn't necessarily the telling them, the problem is the getting there, you know, the starting it, the lighting of the match. That is the problem, because that's where you have to do the biggest leap of faith. So I think that it was kind of helpful that his dad did show up at the cabin there. God, things could have taken a very long time in that regard, you know what I mean? But to loop back to what I was talking about, I held no ill will towards his parents at all this episode, because each and every moment it was quite understandable as to where the overwhelm was coming from. Not only are you dealing with the sexuality aspects that, like, yeah, they had a few ums and ahs, but they didn't know for sure, but also Ilya, like, what the fuck? You know, that would have been bloody crazy to be finding out. So yeah, that was a very, very good portrayal in my opinion. Next up, I did write down Shane talking about the like word lovers being gross could very easily just be boiled down to the fact that I think a lot of people have issue with that word, because lovers just has like a inherently implied sexual element to it, you know. So when you're talking like in front of your family and you're like, yeah, we're lovers, it's gonna be uncomfortable. But I am curious with Shane's like immediate like not liking it and like looking down and everything. I was curious if that was coming from that same like shame pit, you know, whether it was coming from that place of like, oh, I can't talk about this man sitting next to me being my lover in front of my parents. Like, no, I can't do that. That's so scary, you know. I think that both could definitely be at play. But yeah, it was interesting how like quickly and how how big of a reaction Shane had to that word. I thought that was quite interesting. I think that does also link to another note that I wrote down, which was Shane feeling overwhelmed, when he had his like head on the table and everything. I think that is, it could easily be a multitude of things, but I think that is another example of the autism coming into play, not only just the overwhelm of emotions, just so many things, but also the experience of new things. Like, that was a lot of new things in one moment. You go from beginning the day with your secret boyfriend at your cabin, to suddenly ending the episode with them going out and the parents are coming around later. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that's bloody crazy. So I think that was Shane kind of in that moment dealing with the overwhelm of so many changes, so many new things, and even though they were positive, it's still gonna be a lot to process, you know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool. And how he kind of because he was getting overwhelmed, he kind of like took the sensory elements away, kind of looked at the table, got into darkness, had a moment to himself to try and process, spoke his needs of like, I'll be okay, I just need a moment. Ilya then comforting him. I really liked all of that. I think that was very nice. And it was also really lovely that his his parents got to see that element of their relationship, that Ilya was comforting him. And they obviously, it's a very interesting dynamic. If you're in the parents' shoes, suddenly seeing that these two are together, because not only are they rivals and everything, you as Shane's parents know Ilya, but you know him in like a non-personal way. You know him in a professional way. And like, there's so many layers of negativity towards Ilya, and it's not like, oh, I hate this person as a human being. It's just the negativity that comes with the fact that he's been Shane's rival for all these years. Like, you're not exactly going to be like, oh, I love Ilya, so unpacking that in their minds while also seeing that he's like really lovely with their son, that must have been such a fucking brain explosion for them. And I think the parents, like, acting wise, did a really good job, and I think the script was very good at kind of showing their brains in real time processing each part. Like, it started with the sexuality part, then it moved to the Ilya part, then it moved to the you're my son part. I mean, actually, between the Ilya and the son part, it was then the mother walking out and like that whole thing, which we'll get to in a moment. But then it moved into the, wait, yeah, this is my son, okay, sexuality aside, Ilya aside, are you good to my boy? You know what I mean? I think it was really good to kind of like see those layers as their brains were like processing each moment, Thought that was really well done. Oh, one thing I did want to retouch on that we did talk about earlier was the lying to parents and that bringing up elements of shame. I felt we talk about shame so much, but it is just like, it's the base emotion of what we were going through this episode. It came up so many times because that is like such a queer experience, I wish it wasn't, but it is based on the world around us. But I think that it's just such a common thing, isn't it? That you see lying as something that you should feel ashamed for. Whereas, as I was saying earlier, you should not feel ashamed for lying. You should, there should be shame. The shame should be on society. The shame should be on us as a race that we allow people to feel this way. It should not be on you. You are lying out of a place of self-preservation, out of a place of protecting yourself from a world that is fucking scary, for just existing. And I think that Shane had like so many elements this episode where he was feeling sorry, he was feeling bad, and it was breaking my heart because at no point did he need to feel that way, at no point should he have felt that way. And that then leads us to the conversation that he was having with his mum. That was so beautiful. I could see it coming from a mile away, because when you are in Shane's shoes, and I don't mean this in a negative way, you're being very selfish because you're thinking about yourself, because of course you are, like you're dealing with yourself, and it's why I never know how to like word it, because selfish just has such a negative connotation to it. But like at the end of the day, it's like neither positive or negative to be selfish. It's just describing the way of like talking about yourself. You know what I mean? And like viewing things through your own eyes, which like we're all human beings. It's what we do, And so when I mentioned shellfish, not mentioning that, when I mentioned selfish, I think that it's more so that when you're in that moment with as Shane, you're so terrified and you're going through all of the things that you've been thinking about your entire life, the worst case scenarios that you've been thinking about throughout your entire life, the thinking that your parents are going to disown you, the thinking that your parents are going to hate you, the thinking that your parents might find you disgusting, the feeling that your parents will tell you to get out, like so many different scenarios that you're going through in your head, that you're only seeing things through that perspective. You're only seeing things through the possibility of the worst case scenarios. And so you don't really put yourself in the parents' shoes. And so I thought it was such a special moment to have Shane's mum like tell him you have nothing to be sorry about. I love that followed Shane apologizing, because I think that was so needed for Shane. I think Shane needed to get that apology out so that it could be crushed, because there should be no apology. No apology was needed. You know, his mum did not leave that room out of like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. This is too much. She left that room because it was finally hitting her that he hadn't told her after all this time, you know, that since rookie season this has been going on, and she's had no clue. Since rookie season, he has had this like deep turmoil within him that has obviously been running so deep, like the apologizing and saying, I tried, I really tried. As a parent, hearing that your child tried to not be themselves to make you happy, that's fucking heartbreaking. I could not imagine hearing that as a parent, you know, thinking like, so all this time that I've been like trying to look out for my kid, all this time that I've been like trying to figure things out, you know, trying to look out for them and make sure that they're happy, all of that, they've been trying to like fake who they are to try and make me happy? Like, what do you mean? You know, that must genuinely tear you up inside. So I think it was so special to have that follow Shane apologizing, because I think Shane needed to get that apology out for himself. He needed to have his mother's reaction, because without that reaction, I think that would have been something that Shane probably would have held on to for a while. So I'm so glad that he got it out so that his mum could like fucking slap it away and be like, you have nothing to be apologizing for. What I'm going through right now is not in relation to feeling like negative feelings towards you. It's feeling ashamed that I did not make a safe enough place for you. And whether his parents should feel that shame, I don't know. I think that it's unfair to say that they should feel ashamed for that. They should feel like terrible for that. But I do think that it is a conversation that should be out there, that parents should be aware of things and should try and create the most welcoming environment for their kids as possible, because at the end of the day, you don't know who your kids are going to be. You don't know how your kids are going to be growing up and everything, and who they'll become as an adult. And so creating as safe a place as possible to know that they could come to you with anything is so like paramount. But at the end of the day, this is all our first walks on earth. We can only base what we do in life on our own experiences. So I don't judge people too hard for not creating that space. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Granted, if you create a very toxic and hateful space, that's different. I blame you for that. You can go fuck yourselves. Bad parent. But yeah, I think that if you have like meant no harm and it just so happened that you didn't bring this up because it just, I don't know, didn't enter your mind or something, I have so much space for like forgiving people for that. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is, you know, and we've got to this place now. They can be honest, they can be open. This is going to be life-changing for Shane. My God, if this if these 2 weeks weren't already going to be life-changing, spending time with Ilya and everything, telling him that he loves him, vice versa, talking about their future together, to then get this, Shane must be on cloud fucking 9 right now. Like, they've got so many struggles ahead in regards to like keeping it a secret and everything. Nowhere near the struggles they've already gone through. My God, they've jumped over the biggest hurdles already. It's an easy ride to the end. You know what I mean? But yeah, God, very beautiful episode. I'm just going to check that I haven't covered, check that I have covered everything. Oh, the one thing that I did want to touch on was we didn't really get into it. And I feel like I want to go back, maybe not now, but maybe when I like rewatch the show or something. I want to like focus on Ilya in these scenes with Shane's parents, because he was giving the vibe of being very comfortable and everything, but it must have been strange for Ilya to be in that environment, you know, because he's with Shane's parents, who obviously get on very well. You know, the mentioning of the cards and the fact that they have that like competitiveness in their relationship, relating it to Ilya and Shane's relationship, you know, it must have been really weird for Ilya experiencing that, you know, because not only is he obviously processing the loss of his mother, probably on a daily basis. I think that it's something that never really leaves you, which just breaks my heart. But I think that you would be processing that in that moment, like looking at Shane's mum and everything, but also like just their relationship, because it didn't sound like even from day one, Ilya's parents had any level of love that should be between those two people. You know, if she's struggling so much and Ilya could recognize at 12 years old that his father was not easy on her, that's crazy. You know, that's awful, if I'm being real. And your partner should be like the first person on your side through anything, you know. And so it's really sad to hear that, but yeah, I would just be so curious to have like a look into Ilya's mind at that table, because there was a lot of focus on Shane, even from Ilya. There was a lot of focus on Shane, obviously, but I would be so curious to see what was going through his mind family-wise, because I think that is That's an element that I don't think you find a lot in media. You know, a person who has had a parent or both parents pass away, and then they're meeting their new partner's parents, and also add in the element of them coming from a kind of like toxic background when it comes to family, to see this family who's quite solid, quite lovely. You know, they have so much love to give each other. It's a good thing, because like you're a part of that now, and that's beautiful, but I think it would also come with a lot of sadness. You know, a lot of sadness over you not having that. So yeah, I that was just something that I wanted to like bring up as a topic, because obviously we don't know, but I would love to know what was going through his head in that moment. Yes, though, with that said, I am going to be leaving here, going to take a little bit of a break, and then I'll be coming back to do question time, because I'm so ready to talk even more about this show. But yes, with that said then, catch you in a minute. Right, hello. Obviously, this is not the same me that you were just watching. Plans changed when I recorded that reaction. Originally, I was going to do like the usual question time after the episode and everything, but I decided at the time, you know what, delay it a little bit, and then we did, I think it was a couple days later, we did like a full-on season 1 breakdown, which that is going to be coming to YouTube as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you are interested. It's mostly just doing the question time, but some of the questions were like very broad and like season overview kind of questions, you know, so I thought, you know what, probably works better as its own little video, so that will be coming hopefully within the next couple of days. Gonna be doing my best to do that, but yeah, it'll be coming very soon no matter what. But with that said though, Season 1 of Heated Rivalry, what a beautiful show. What an absolute pleasure to be watching this show. Thank you all of you for joining me along this journey. It is so rare for us to find such a quality piece of television, especially nowadays, so it is a wonderful journey every time we do it, but God, does it bloody well sting when it's over. It's like I'm torn within me. I'm like, oh yeah, take your time, you know, getting Season 2 out, take your time. I trust you. You've produced a beautiful product already. I know you're going to be able to do it again, but then there's that other part of me that's like, could we have it tomorrow? Like, could we speed it up a little bit? But alas, I will accept the wait, knowing what is coming. But yeah, God, what an absolute pleasure it has been. Thank you all of you for joining me along this journey. Been wonderful as always. And yes, with that said though, I shall catch you hopefully in a few days for the Season 1 breakdown. But with that said then, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. All right? Bye-bye.